This is round one of Real Wars, the extreme fishing and survival challenge. 15 days of grueling competition begin on Caher Island, a windlashed rock 18 miles off the coast of Ireland, where Rob York and Steve Broad are going head to head to find the ultimate fisherman. Rob York, a born extrovert who loves the wilderness and surviving on his wits, an expert sea fisherman, Caher Island is ideal territory for him.
Yes!
For Steve Broad, a down-to-earth coarse fisherman moored home on the river bank, the island will be a challenge, but he's confident of catching.
Come to Daddy.
In Real Wars, the fisherman with the highest score wins. Every fish caught is worth points, and there are bonuses for weight and species. But this is also a struggle for survival, because the fishermen can only eat when they catch. Rob and Steve have each been given 200 points to spend on fishing and survival equipment. Before the competition begins, they must choose 4 items from a kit list of 6. Will they gamble and select extra fishing supplies, or go for safety and opt for more survival gear?
I've chosen the basic fishing kit because I need that. That is essential. I've chosen a sleeping bag. I need it. I need to be warm and comfortable at night. A tent I'm not too bothered about. I think I can get away with it. Bit of a risk, but I'll go for it. A cooker I need desperately. If I catch fish, I need to cook them. I don't think there's a lot of fuel around here. Bait I'm not bothered about. I can have a route round, find a few bits and bobs. And my little ace up my sleeve is, by forgoing the tent, I've got extra fishing tackle, and I think I can pull out a big fish, which will put me ahead of points.
I've arrived on this island. I reckon it's going to be very exposed. There's not going to be anything to fish with. I've selected the basic fishing kit. I don't want to be cold. I've gone for the sleeping bag. It's going to rain at some point. I've also gone for the tent. I won't, from experience, find any driftwood on this rocky Atlantic coast. I want the stove. The bait, there's no need for any bait. There's enough around here already. And for extra tackle, I don't need that. I'm just going to rely on the basic fishing kit.
Rob and Steve receive instructions through a high-tech mobile phone capable of sending text messages, emails and attachments. It's time for Real Wars to begin. Rob is told to head west to location 2 and make camp near the sea cliffs. Steve is instructed to head south to location 1. Equipment packed, instructions received, it's time to head off.
I'm going to look round now, just have a scout round. I know there's a little pool of water over on the far side. I'm just going to scout out, and also just want to look down this edge, see if there's somewhere I can tuck away out the wind, give myself a little bit of shelter. Now that looks like a right result. There's a bit of an old ruin there. It's very small, but it stands a good chance of giving me some decent shelter. I was just checking that there was nothing else that might be sharing what is about to become my new abode. It's actually warm in here. You're out the wind and you can feel the temperature increase. I need to get the gear in here, get sorted and get fishing now.
Over on the western side of the island, Rob has found steep sea cliffs in deep water, home to small sharks and conger eel. Landing these fish would mean big points, but Rob doesn't have any suitable bait. Instead, he's using feathers and a 4-ounce ledger to cast for low-scoring pollock. Rob and Steve have been set a target of 10 points for each day. If they reach the target, they'll win extra food.
That's where they are, you know. They're amazingly close in, just coming down the side here, right in against the waves. You would have thought they'd be smashed against the rocks, but that's where you get them. Oh! Whoa! Man, what have we got here? A pollock by the look of it. I think 2 of them. Oh, man, that. Where, hey! This is it. At last I got my first fish, a pair of pollock. There they are, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. That's going to feed me tonight. I'm dead excited. I'm not going to waste time. I'm still going to go and see if I can get something else. £3. That's the business. That's all we want. Perfect.
On the sheltered southern side of the island, Steve is fishing in calm, clear water. He's trying for mackerel, which he'll use as bait to go for conger, using his extra tackle.
The water's very shallow, and how these work is the lead bounces on the bottom and it dances like that, imitating a shoal of small fish as it comes in, and the mackerel see the flash, bump straight on it, and you can catch 2 or 3 at a time. Come on, mackerels. Just look down, it's lovely gin clear water, and a fish came up, followed it right behind the bait and just turned away at the last minute. I'm not happy. I'm really struggling to catch. If a foolish mackerel doesn't decide to hang itself and thus give me something to eat, then I'm afraid it's limpet stew for tea. The prospect fills me with joy.
The decision is made for him when he's told to stop fishing and text in his daily total. A disappointing start. No fish, no points. Rob texts in his daily fishing score. He hasn't met the 10-point target, but with 2 fish and 4 points, he has a commanding lead and enough food for a filling dinner.
Oh man, straight from the sea, delicious.
Steve has nothing for the pan, so he goes scavenging for supper.
This is a brilliant find. This is quite exciting me. It's a rock pool like you used to play in when you were a kid. Far too fast for me, I'm afraid.
Crabs and small fish prove a bit elusive, so he begins to collect limpets and cockles for his first meal on the island.
I bet I'd pay 20 quid for that down Kensington High Street. Bubbling away furiously. This is my first meal. Might not look much, but at least it's something. And just tastes like mussels. Probably would have preferred it with a little bit of garlic butter, but there isn't a corner shop round here. You can't eat the suckers, by the way, I've just discovered that.
Man, this place is exposed. I knew it would be, but up this end of the island, I'm so glad that I picked the tent because it's been windy, it's been blowy, it's been wet. Good thing is, the good news is, yes, result. 2 fish I've eaten tonight, so at least I've got something to work on for the morning. Don't know how Steve's doing. He'll be down the other end of the island. He's going to be pretty cold. He didn't have the tent, so he's going to have a pretty shivery night, and if he hasn't got any fish, he's going to be well up against it.
Well, it's morning, and as you can see, it's raining. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. It's been like this all night. I'm fairly dry. My top around my head and things is a bit wet, and I've been bitten by midges. It's not nice. Not nice at all.
After a breakfast of chicken stock cubes, Rob heads off.